What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Geeks Around. I am your executive producer, Deanna Jackson. We are, of course, here for our continuing series of Arrow discussions. This is a really fun episode. I got a kick out of this one. Joining me here, community manager Knuckles Goldberg. What's going on, man?
What's up?
Taking a break from the Inquisition to join us. I don't think I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, I closed a few rifts so I could be here tonight.
Oh, well, there you go. That's what's up. Andy, how's it going, man?
I'm doing well. Hello, Arrowheads.
Yeah, see, I knew he was going to say that. Charles, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. Thought the episode was pretty good. Not the worst, but not the best. But it was still pretty good.
All right, fair enough. Isaiah, your thoughts?
Well, folks, I would like to say my same catchphrases, but however, there's actually two differences in this one. Number one, I like Adam. He was actually kind of cool. He was a dick, but he was still cool. And the second one was, that's about it.
So there was no second one. So why even say there's two things? Blue Rod, what did you think?
How's everyone going? I actually thought this episode was stalkerish.
Exactly. Stalkers.
Yeah, that did seem to be the kind of general theme of this episode. We had a lot of stalker behavior going on, but it's like I think we all knew that one coming in, especially it's like how last episode ended. We knew at that point this episode was going to be pretty much all about Cupid, and that's kind of what we got.
And more archers! Yay! More archers.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I swear, there's got to be like an Arrowhead specialty store somewhere in Starling City that's like making money hand over fist right now.
The arrows are pretty much going through the roof now. The arrows and bows and everything is going through the roof now. Like,
for real. It's like, I mean, the motherfucker who owns that store, he like bought himself a mansion and shit.
Right.
He's got a fucking Ferrari and yachts and shit.
Yeah,
It's like seriously, for real. It was like every time you look up, there's another archer in this city.
Hey, but she was self-taught.
I don't know how. I was like, really? How the hell?
Yeah, self-taught. It's
Hey,
like,
she had 6
I was
months to
like,
learn.
she was a cop, and then she was a crazy bitch, and then all of a sudden,
No, she was Harley
oh
Quinn.
look it, I happen to be really, really good at shooting a bow and arrow.
She
Who
was
the
Harley
fuck
Quinn.
it?
She was amazing.
Nobody in Starling City is good at shooting a
YouTube.
bow and arrow.
She was Harley
YouTube,
Quinn.
YouTube tutorials really changed the world for everyone.
It's all the Hunger Games' fault.
Hey
It's
now,
like, she
hey
looked
now.
up some videos on Howcast or whatever.
Jeffrey wants
Fucking
to
hooked herself up, and somehow it's like is even able to overpower Arsenal. It's like you got to feel bad for my man.
Yeah, I was so angry.
I kind of laughed at him like, wow, you're a wussy.
Yeah, I
was
could have
dazed
done
by
too.
her
I mean, it's kind of
eyes.
fucked up. It's like, dude, how long have you been doing this shit? And she just whooped your ass real quick.
Okay, go to,
Like,
go to
apparently, it's like we
And you
didn't even
know
get to
what
see that on camera.
Yeah, it was off screen. I'm like, okay, you take my boy down. Okay, I will hate you, but I will be fine with it. But you do it off screen, bitch, you can go fucking die.
Wow. Wow, that's kind of dark. Wow.
Yeah, that is really dark.
Damn.
Yeah. But
Willow Dark coming from Isaiah. Isaiah is normally the one talking about. It's like, well, just kill everybody.
Exactly, I know, right? That's,
well, my opinion on Cupid, however, is that I liked her. I thought she was good. Shut up, Isaiah. I thought she was good mostly because I like the actress.
and red hair.
I don't. No, God damn it, she's not nat. You know what? That doesn't even matter. What matters is that in the show that I saw her in originally was Supernatural. She must have been in that show maybe like during like 3 or 4 episodes where she played a young version of Sam and Dean's mother, and she was great in that show. I loved her in it, and in Cupid, playing as Cupid in Arrow. Yeah, I really liked her. I do think it's a bit weird that she was able to get that decent with a bow and arrow that quickly. Because it takes a while to be really good at bows and archery. But for the most part, I thought it was good. I thought the fight scenes were great. Knocking out Arsenal off camera was a little bit annoying, but I let it slide. But I don't know. I liked her. I thought she was pretty good.
Okay,
And
Charles.
there's an interesting trivia about Cupid, actually. The character in the comic book, she was actually created by one of the people that actually created Arrow. So it was kind of fun that he got to bring in one of his creators from, when he was writing the Green Arrow Black Canary book, and he got to bring it into the show.
Speaking of, was anyone else glad that Laurel wasn't in this episode at all?
I know, right? That was the best thing ever. No shovel face.
God damn it. You're
Now
not
going through one of our
using.
viewer comments right quick because this is actually related to something I was just about to bring up. Antonio asks, was I the only one that thought this was just a filler episode?
Yeah.
Antonio, no, you are not. Yes, this was a filler episode. Absolutely.
Beyond filler.
Without doubt.
The thing is, I never would feel.
But it was good filler.
Well, whenever it comes to an episode that is kind of like out of the main arc, I usually just call it a standalone episode. And like, a filler episode is when literally nothing is progressing, what is happening in the A or B story and stuff like that, or it doesn't, flesh out anything with the current relationship. But in this episode, it actually did flesh out a lot of relationships. But it did feel a little bit. It wasn't really one of my favorite episodes of the season. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like one of the strongest either. But I don't look at it as a filler episode. I would just say it's a standalone episode.
No, I'd call it filler, and the reason I call it filler is because obviously at this point they're just kind of killing time until the next episode of Arrow, which isn't for a couple of weeks, but that's of course the big crossover episode.
Right. Also, there's some good points too. Is Cupid? Cupid, don't find it like her all that much. She was cool that she killed the annoying black guy. I was okay with that.
Or the IT guy.
Exactly. Thank you for killing those other annoying characters. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, the IT guy was only introduced in this episode, and he was only in the episode for 3 minutes, maybe less.
No, he was.
So yeah, we don't care about that IT guy. I mean, as far as we know, he's pretty much just fodder, cannon fodder, or whatever the word is.
Now, here's another thing that I found a little tricky was why did he turn his back to the window when she made that phone call? Really, dude? You can't look out the window? You had to turn to Diggle so Diggle could hear a speakerphone?
Yeah, but the thing is, okay. Oliver turning his back to the window so he could, direct the phone and show Diggle, fine.
That was so stupid.
How come Diggle didn't see that bitch?
Right!
he's looking in their direction. It's like, here's the phone. Here's the bitch she's talking to. It's like right outside the window. She's like, 30 feet away, if that. She's right fucking there.
And her red hair stands out, too. It stands out.
You know what the bigger question is? Why didn't he have a costume?
Thank you. And she shows up. The first time we ever see this bitch, she got a motherfucking costume, and Diggle doesn't even have a goddamn ski mask.
Right.
He just showing the fuck up.
Right.
Oh, don't even get me started on this shit.
Yeah.
Let me point out something really funny. You know what's so funny? Oliver is trying to hide his identity, basically. But, it doesn't help when you bring along your bodyguard, who is a public figure. And let me finish, Isaiah. You bring on your public figure, who is your bodyguard. What people know that Oliver Queen has, this bodyguard. So it's like, you're kind of like just fucking it all up by bringing him along you without a costume, or at least, a ski mask. At least give him some, shades and whatever, sunglasses,
Okay. To your point, Andy, flashback 6 months ago when they saved her ass and he ran back to the van and they weren't wearing no mask. Felicity and Diggle.
I'm still hey, Felicity should have a costume too.
Well, Felicity is like
public figure too.
Yeah, Felicity is the vice president of what was once Queens Consolidated.
Yeah.
Sounds like Palmer Technologies or whatever the fuck it is.
Palmer Technologies, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's rolling around with Arrow doing her thing with on costume, but at least she's not normally in the field. So it's like that I can get by. She's normally at the Arrow cave.
But she's paying the bills.
His ass is always in the field.
But although
that's where
you have to agree that she will look in a pretty good costume. Like we saw her in a beautiful dress, and here's I have a complaint about Felicity.
I'm concerned that just a beer costume.
Maybe she should wear the ski mask, and Diggle should wear her fucking glasses so he could see her.
Something, no.
Very much.
I mean, at the rate we're going, is like fucking Ray Palmer is gonna have his costume before Diggle has one.
Right.
That's just bullshit.
We saw the blueprint for a costume, hologram style. So, you know what? Maybe.
Sorry, that costume looked a little Tony Starkish.
It kind of did.
But that is actually based on what the Atom is actually wearing right now in the book. So not a complete rip-off, but I guess I get what you mean.
Well, yeah, because it's
Hey,
like
but at least that
his shoe
CGI
is.
actually looked good this week. CGI has been horrible.
Yeah, for once, I don't really have any nitpicky complaints like I did, the last couple of episodes. Yeah, this one is going to be nitpick free, except for the whole how in the hell did Diggle not see her when she's standing
really.
fucking 30 feet away.
Right there, with the red hair.
Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's actually a pretty significant nitpick because she was really right fucking there.
She has the red hair, for God's sake.
You don't notice the reflection in the window.
Bright red hair, bright as hell. I was like, wait, she's right there, dude. She is okay. Are you high? We didn't give you some drugs. Did he give you some drugs? We didn't start getting them drugs.
You know what I was thinking?
Everybody's complaining about Diggle's costume, but his costume is that leather jacket.
Yeah, but just, at least give the brother like a bandana or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just anything. Just a pair of sunglasses and a bandana. A fucking scarf. Okay, anything.
How would a scarf help him? How would a scarf help him?
Putting a scarf like around his mouth and shit.
Like a bandana, like a.
Yeah, it's like it's not complicated. Yeah, just fucking. Here we go. Here's your scarf. Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
it's something.
Yeah,
it's fucking something. Yeah.
Yeah. Black people can pull it off. We can pull it off easily well. And then right there.
Okay.
Yeah, he can wear the skull mask.
Thank you, Lou Rod. Thank you.
Yeah, or give him a paintball mask. I don't know. Some
Give him a paper bag. He'd be okay.
One of the things I wanted to say about Cupid is that I don't know how much like this she is in the comic, but I feel like maybe because based on the ending, when they said that she was sent to Argus and Suicide Squad, I'm wondering if they're trying to set her up as the Harley Quinn of Arrow, because there's a chance we might not be able to see Harley Quinn on Arrow after all.
Well, yeah, and it's like, and they did indirectly mention Harley Quinn in this episode. Yeah, it's like when they added her to the Suicide Squad, and they mentioned she's crazier than the last female on the team. That we know that's Harley Quinn they were talking about. It's like they couldn't say it, but we know.
Yeah, who's crazier than Harley Quinn? That's kind of hard to say that. Like, really? She was in love with the Joker. And that's really crazy as hell. I
thought Diggle said that she was almost as crazy as the last person. That's what I got.
Oh, almost as crazy. Something is like the bottom line is like we all know that they were talking about Harley.
Yeah, she's batshit crazy.
The Joker.
So I think that if she comes back and they do, because they are definitely doing another Suicide Squad episode this season. I think that because I had some problems with Cupid. She was fun. It was fun to see some, crazy fun. But I think that when she comes back, if she comes back, she will most likely be portrayed a little bit better. I like the actress though, but she will.
Oh yeah, Amy's awesome.
Yeah, she's
perfect. She's perfect, but I do think that I think her next appearance will be better though.
So wait a minute, there's one thing I have to ask. Why did Oliver just give Cupid the D? It'd be so easy, like just give her the D. It'd be okay. Just give her the D. We're all done. Yeah, the D.
Yeah, it would take like 3 minutes.
Exactly, and it's over. Give her the D.
What am I missing?
He means have sex with her, Andy.
Isaiah, if he gives her the D, she becomes more psychotic.
Come on, Andy. I know you're familiar with the
dick. I'm just saying, like,
damn.
Super hot. Hey, I would say, okay, I give her the D. It's not a big thing. Okay, cool by me. I'm just saying.
I thought maybe it was the D as in the drug or whatever. I don't know.
What? No, don't give her drugs. Give her the D. Give her the D.
Because sex resolves everything.
I give her the D and she's gonna love me even more. That's not a good mix.
That's perfect. No, that's perfect. You keep her trained. Keep her like calm down.
Oh,
and bada bing, bada
she
boom.
would never calm down.
There was the whole she's a murderous psychopath thing also.
Hey.
Oh my God.
And then it's like, and then she. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. So how? Here's the thing. Because Isaiah, I beg you this one time, do not interrupt him because I have strong feelings about this. I was so upset with Diggle for one reason because when Huntress was on for 3 episodes, all he kept doing was Psycho ex-girlfriend and stuff like that. But not even once would he call Cupid as Psycho at all. It's like, you're killing me, Diggle. Maybe that's why you don't get a costume because... No, I'm kidding.
Well, I think Cupid being Psycho was a little bit of a given in this one. It's like,
but it was
no one doubted this.
Right.
Yeah, but But Diggle couldn't stop calling her Psycho when Huntress was on and stuff. Huntress is nowhere near as crazy as Cupid was. So it's like, why would you? It's like, I was irritated by it, and that's
Well,
my
yeah, but it's
nitpick.
like, but it's not like Oliver was trying to hook up with Cupid
Right.
like he was with Huntress.
Oh God, the hunter.
With Huntress, Oliver actually needed it explained to him
Yes,
that
like
this was a
idiot.
bad idea.
Yeah, idiot.
There was not really a question of this being a bad idea in this one, so there was really no need for Diggle to go there.
I know. I thought it was irritating as hell, but maybe that's just me.
Hey, I would say if you had to choose between Huntress and Cupid, I would pretty much choose Cupid, obviously, easily.
That's
You
because
got
you're an
issues.
idiot.
That's why you love me so much. I'm an idiot because I'm crazy.
I don't love you.
You're
I
not.
despise
You're
you.
not making things better for yourself, Isaiah.
Again, idea logic is impenetrable. It can't be broken. See,
God
that's how
damn
it
it.
works. That's how
See,
it
look.
works for me.
The difference between
Yeah,
the Huntress and Cupid was the Huntress was obsessed with getting her father and making him pay. Cupid was just a straight up psychopathic stalker. She
Yeah,
didn't give a damn who she was stalking.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go
She
with
just had to be
Lord on
stalking
that.
someone.
right. But she was killing bad people though. She was killing bad people. It was like, okay, cool by me. Cool by me.
Okay, so you would want her to stalk you and then what? Stick an arrow down your fucking check?
No, kill other bad
Isaiah,
kill
you
bad
do
people.
recall when Cupid threatened to kill everybody at Oliver's sister's nightclub? You know, the one that had his sister in it, right?
Oh, she was in it? Oh, that's right.
No, she was busy
Oh,
telling the
yeah,
DJ that he was fired.
Double face number 3. That's right. My bad. Yeah.
God damn, enough with the shovel faces, man, because you are using it in the wrong way. The way
No,
you're
not
using
really.
it, you don't understand the meaning of shovel face.
Yes, I do, Charles. Unlike you.
Actually,
Well, see, it's like you see,
Thea's
you
not
call
a
too many
shovel
people
face. I
shovel
think she
face.
has more. I think Thea's gonna have more of a backbone than Laura will ever have.
And I agree with that too.
Oh Lord, enough with the Laurel hate wherever I go.
Shovel face dude, we barely
No,
say
it's like,
that.
for the record, Andy is like, I am not a team of hate Laurel's. Like, I think Laurel's a fine character. She's becoming
Yes.
even better. I think she's going to be a good part of the show. It's like, I don't get all the Laurel hate either.
That's
Yeah,
why you.
I'm the
that's
same way.
why you-
I don't have a problem with her.
Okay,
and
me
that-
and
that's
Knuckles
why-
and
that-
Rob.
that's why, Deanna. That's why you're my favorite black person in this group.
Well, I mean, look at your options.
Right. Me and Deanna.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, that's not really a high praise for me, you know?
It's like a low praise. Very, very low.
I got so many tweets this week because I wrote a piece about Black Canary on TV Over My, and there were like 5 or 6 people that was like, "You're fucking high, you're fucking more. How dare you say that about Laura? Like, you should be loving Sarah." I'm like, I do whatever
Wait
I
a second,
fucking want.
back up. Wait a second. It's like, go ahead and talk us through. It's like, what exactly was your piece that you wrote on TV Over Mind?
Yeah.
Okay. For anyone who has not heard the news, major spoiler alert for episode 10 of Arrow. A few photos was released by the CW 2 weeks ago of Katie Cassidy as the new Black Canary, and I wrote a piece with one of my colleagues, and we were doing like a mini roundtable discussion. We brought up 3 questions. One, what are the upsides of having Laura become Black Canary early on Arrow? Then the other one was, what's the downside? And the third one was, regardless whether it's bad or good, what does the show need to do in order for us to believe in this storyline? And there was a lot of positive comments saying, thank you so much for defending Laurel. Thank you so much for, not being one of the typical haters, because she is, she may have been a bad character in the beginning, but it can't be not denied. She's been improved so much this season. And some of the things that I got on Twitter was a bit, like, you fucking hack. You don't really care about Arrow because, you should say that Sarah is the real Black Canary. I'm like, no, she was never the real Black Canary. She was only there to set up the whole arc. We knew she was gonna die.
Right.
The only surprise about Sarah was, the 2 surprises was, 1, she was bisexual, which I was really happy about, and 2, she died so soon in where I thought she was going. So that's what I wrote on TV Over Mind.
And people jumped on you for saying that? Really?
Well, because
It's the internet, dude.
I know, but come on now. Come on. That's
Well,
a-
Isaiah, you are
Isaiah,
one
you
of those.
know better.
well, that's different
You're
though.
on the intraweb yourself, and that's all you like. You fish for that.
Exactly. Because that's me. I do it for fun.
So
Well,
do
see,
they.
since we're on the topic, how do we feel about Laurel becoming Black Canary in a few weeks?
I'd like to go first because I actually have some words about that. In regards to the character itself, I think it could actually be quite interesting in a good way. I'd love to be able to see Laurel dress up as Black Canary and kick a lot of ass, and I'd really like to see that because she kicked ass in Supernatural. But one problem I do have, costume. I really don't like the costume, especially the domino mask. The domino mask looks freaking ridiculous. And I like Sarah's costume more. I like Sarah's costume more.
Because it was more revealing?
No, that's not why. I mean, no.
Well, for
Yes,
me,
it was revealing, but that did not really affect me. I just thought that it was a better looking costume, especially the domino mask. The domino mask that Sarah wore was a lot better than what Laura's doing. What Laurel's costume looks like, it's not really believable. And what I'm hoping for is that this is going to be like a trial run of like the first costume. Like she's going to come up with this costume first. You try it out for a little while, and then she's going to upgrade to something better. That's what I'm hoping for, because I really don't want her to be wearing just this costume the whole stint of her being Black Canary.
Okay, Batman.
I'm sure she will evolve the costume. Also, I was surprised that because the other characters on the show, they have, they use eye makeup, to just hide the remaining part, which is what Sarah actually did too. So I was surprised that we didn't, get that with Laura. But like I said, it's gonna evolve. It's not her final look.
I personally don't have any issue at all with the costume.
I don't have an issue with the costume. Just don't really have interest because Sarah was still my favorite.
I don't like the domino mask because it kind of reminds me of Black Cat from Spider-Man.
And that too. It kind of did too. Like,
and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it's not really concealing. It's like, Laurel, you're wearing a domino mask for some strange reason. It's like, I know it's Laurel. With Sarah, at first, we didn't even know who the hell she was. But, we only knew it was Sarah because it was revealed to be Sarah.
Well, she also wore a wig.
True.
Also,
yes.
She has a really awesome, well,
Well, I don't know. It's just the domino mask.
She also wore the wig, and not to mention the fact that at the time where she was introduced, her character was kind of supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just her domino mask is not really concealing. You like let's say that like Laurel is dressed up as
Black Canary. She wears a domino mask in the comics, yes.
Yes, I do, but
the mask her character's wearing is actually pretty similar to the one she's wearing.
The domino mask that she's currently wearing in that photo that I found out through Lou Rod, it's a terrible domino mask. It's too big, making it much easier to be able to tell that it's Laurel. And so if anybody sees her wearing that outfit in the TV show and doesn't know that it's Laurel, I'm going to call foul. And I'm going to say
But to your point there, Charles, you'll know it's Laurel just by looking at her face.
Again, shovel face. Thank you.
Her face is so distinguished that you can see nothing covering her. She would need a full-blooded mask.
Right, thank you. Shovel face.
What I'm saying is that I'm not talking about me. Of course I know it's Laurel. What I'm saying is that people that she interacts with in her costume in the TV show that don't know it's Laurel and they're looking at her in the face and all that. Come on. The domino mask does not.
Come on, man. It's
hide
like Errol's first costume in this show was a hood and black eye makeup.
It was terrible, but it was funny.
I will still never understand how Oliver had time. He remember that episode when he had to rush up to the roof and dress it up. Where the fuck did he get time to just putting up some mascara hair and
Right.
and then
He just rushed it, you know what I'm saying? It's like he just rushing up there, getting the makeup. There we go, done.
Right, they had a mirror
on.
But in the first three episodes, it was very, very specific, very shaped and stuff like that. Then it was just like, I'm the Arrow now.
Yeah, it makes for a hell of a badass costume
transitions. I think in the first couple episodes, wasn't really facing anyone tough, and he was just kind of shooting at people, and he had the hood on, conceal himself, but then he got knocked out in episode 4 or something.
He got knocked the fuck out.
I don't know. It's just, the rest of the costume, okay, but the domino mask still annoys the living crap out of me.
It will change. Like you said, testing, trial run, and stuff like that. Look, none of these costumes that we're seeing right now are going to be the final costumes that we see in the last episode of Arrow.
Yeah, probably not.
To your question, Andy,
you never know.
I'll wait for the episode to see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's like let's just all hope that. Let's just all hope that Oliver never, decides to go ahead and ditch the hood and get, the little Robin Hood mask.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
Well,
Really
like
awesome.
he be wearing in the comic books.
No, that would just be so cheesy.
That would be awesome, though.
Yeah, with the little fucking feather in it
Okay,
and shit.
now Isaiah is really trolling. He's saying that I want to see him wear that hat. That would be so awesome.
That'd be awesome, though. That'd be awesome. He'd be like, he'd be like Odd Job. He's throwing at people like, hit someone, boom. That's an awesome hat, son.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's an awesome
They might
hat.
just throw the hat out for fan appreciation night.
There you go. You see
What,
what
you mean kind of like how they shoehorned the boxing glove arrow in?
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
That was still so awesome.
See, that's why you need the hat, son. You need the hat.
No, you don't need a hat because of the black signal of arrow, Isaiah. Just
You see what I mean? Arrow,
No.
see, Arrow needs the hat, son.
I didn't
Okay, so
even agree
moving
with him.
on.
I hated
like
the
a-
DJ in this episode. He was awful. That's supposed to be Fia's new love interest? Fuck him.
Yeah, it's like I didn't even get the whole thing with them. Was like I didn't care about that at all. Like
Right.
not even a little.
That's why I asked, like, is Fears in this episode? That's why I really asked, like, she was in this episode? Because I was just like, oh, she was in an episode.
Do
Because
you
it-
watch these episodes? I
Don't
think you're just
worry.
reading.
because it made-
Malcolm Merlin is going to get a hold of that kid, and it's over.
Oh my God.
Because it made,
I hope so. It's like, yes, please, Malcolm, go back to your murderous ways just this
Please.
once.
yeah, please do. Because that made no sense. Why
And
would
then
you do
send
that?
him to Tahiti.
Yeah, or the Lazarus Pit.
No, he
Hey,
should die.
I thought that new DJ, he kind of reminded me of Bellamy in looks.
I have
If
no
you know
idea
what
who
I'm
that is.
talking about, Deanna.
Wait, who say that again?
He kind of had this look of Bellamy. I thought when I first saw him, like, why is Bellamy on this show?
Who in the hell's Bellamy?
From The 100.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Those losers. Oh, yeah.
Those losers, really, Isaiah?
Yeah. Next to the 100.
Hey, that show is actually doing a little better than Arrow right now, dude.
I'm not complaining.
Don't use logic against Isaiah. It's a waste of time.
Exactly.
Oh,
This is
right.
what I
So
use.
sorry.
This logic doesn't work.
God.
Isaiah,
Oh, God. He's getting stronger.
I know. The black hole is getting stronger. Oh.
Yeah, it's like, and Antonio pretty much agrees with us here. It's like the DJ dude is like, Antonio doesn't trust him either.
Yeah, don't trust him. I don't trust him either. Mm-mm.
And he was so weird looking, by the way. Like, I know I'm not usually the one who complains about looks, but everything about him just annoyed me.
I agree. He did.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the thing is, like, I'm a huge shipper of Roy and Fia, so I was like, this is the guy that's supposed to get in the way of them? Fuck no.
Right. That was terrible.
Give me someone worthy.
I agree with Andy. Get someone worthy. Not this.
It's like, speaking of relationships, it's like we did see Ray Palmer and Felicity get a little bit closer in this episode.
Hey, Homer, he's a pimp. He's a pimp.
He has so much money. Seriously, he buys her all this stuff. I'm like, I thought you said in the second episode that you weren't like gonna earn any money at all this season. That you were, gonna help the community and the city and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, just spending $10 million on a necklace and dress and dinner and.
Actually,
He
he only
rented it
put,
for
he
$10,000.
put he put money down on the necklace. The necklace has to go back.
And it's like, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this is the first time we've actually heard a job title for Felicity since she started working for Ray Palmer. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that. Because before this, I remember wondering, what in the fuck does she actually do? What the fuck she do? And this one is like, when they were at the restaurant, he introduces her as the vice president. And I'm like, oh!
Oh, I thought she was
And the last time he mentioned it, he just mentioned that she wasn't a secretary.
Yeah.
I
What were
think-
you saying, Knuckles?
I thought she was the head of HR because every time we saw her at the office, she was just sitting there crying.
Yeah.
Come on, it was pretty sad when she was crying. Like, poor girl.
Always crying.
Yeah, but her being vice president, that explains a lot. It's like, that explains how come she doesn't actually seem to actually do anything there.
Yeah, like
It's kind of funny that as Oliver's life is starting to fall apart, she's just going places.
yeah.
And Oliver's reactions in this episode, it's like, yeah, I think he does need some therapy. Like, that shrink who's like, you could use some therapy, and he's like, no, I don't.
Yeah,
Really?
It's like he's just got relationship issues in general. It's like, I mean, he has two main women in his life right now, Laurel and Felicity, and both of them have guys that they kind of spend time with other than him, and he doesn't like either one of those
He's
situations.
jealous.
Neither of them. He is firmly against. It's like last episode he was telling Laura, it's like no, you seen this Wildcat dude? It's like, no, that shit can't happen. No, fuck that.
He's player hate.
Oliver's problem is he's tough on the streets, but a pussy with the women.
Apparently, which for Oliver has got to be really weird. It's like, I mean, because before all this madness, he was pretty good with the ladies.
Yeah, but he was a big kid. Now look at him now. Now look at him
He
now.
got broken down.
E.T. strikes everyone. Actually.
But I did feel very sorry for him, though.
I didn't really. I mean, Palmer is a cool guy.
I said, you don't have a heart. How are you supposed to feel sorry for people without a heart? So,
Exactly. See, that's what makes a perfect reason for me to chime in. Like, I didn't feel sorry for him. I didn't feel sorry for Palmer. He didn't get none. He should have got some draws, man. What's up? He should have got some. He should have got some.
It's like, see, it's like I think at this point Isaiah's just trying to live vicariously through anyone that he can, because Isaiah's got to be like the non-pussy gettingest person I've ever met in my life.
Hey, you don't know me that well, my homie. Hey, I can't tell my home. I can't tell you.
Yeah, okay, if you say so, dude.
But I'm just saying.
It's like I know we live and everything, so you got to say what you got to say to save face, but
Hey, but I'm just being honest though, because hey, he was doing all these things for Felicity. Like Felicity could have said, hey, okay, I can have sex with you. Okay, cool by me, but no.
because everything is about sex.
He was dropping.
yeah, see, it's like, and
$1
the only people that everything
$1
is about sex for is the people not having it.
Exactly, because they dropping $10
See,
million.
you just agreed with me. See,
$20 million. They dropping $10 million.
No, but see,
he just
Isaiah.
admitted it. I don't even think he realized that he just admitted.
Hey, I'm still making a point here. Anyways, you see what I mean, folks? If he was Ray Palmer, he's like, okay, I'm gonna get. He didn't get nothing. He didn't get jack squat. Like, oh, I can't do it.
He actually he did get something out of this whole thing.
What did he get?
Because
He got her respect. If you think about it, in future episodes, they'll take it further. He gave her the kiss. He apologized for it because he caught her off guard. A real man would admit exactly what he did. He would apologize for doing what he did. And now, later on in the show, when they come to that little spot again, she'll be more willing. She'll lead the charge.
Okay.
And you want to just talk about bad timing for my boy Oliver to walk in. It's like, damn.
That shit, he's
Like
just an idiot.
worst timing
It's his
ever.
fault. Hey, it's his fault. Hey.
But that's where it really felt like a very that scene was very classic CW drama, and I talked to my big sister. I talked to my big sister today on the phone, and she was furious about this whole episode as a whole. But because she's been avoiding a vampire diary, and she's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I'm trying to avoid that shit, and now it's invading my favorite show." I'm like, "Says calm."
Well, welcome to show was on the CW. It's like,
Right.
I mean, we all knew it was like what we were getting into.
But the thing with Arrow is like it's not the typical CW show. This CW that we know right now is changing. It's not the teen soapy drama whatever. But that moment felt very classic CW. But I did feel sorry for Oliver.
Yeah. I'll admit I did as well.
I didn't.
I didn't.
I didn't give a fuck. Like, dude, that's your fault. Yeah, that's what that's
Well,
his
yeah,
fault.
it's like, I mean, yes, Leerod, I completely agree with you. He got exactly what he deserved. He's created this situation by not admitting to Felicity,
Right.
not standing by his admission.
I live a double life.
Yeah, like Batman. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. Batman got laid, though. He got laid multiple times. Well, never mind.
Hey, there's one point I want to bring up, and this is actually setting up the whole crossover event. As Cupid gets locked away and stuff like that, we meet a new villain.
Yeah, Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, how many
Spartacus people will there be?
how many gladiators from Spartacus are gonna show up on this show?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it does seem like the Spartacus retirement.
They're cheap.
at this
They're cheap.
point.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
we had
like-
Blade,
like the film
who was
before
Princess, and now we have Boomerang, who is Asher.
Yeah, he's cheap. So, hey.
I was kind of disappointed he did not have the Australian accent like Captain Boomerang has in the comic books. I was like, why does every villain on every TV show have to be American accent? At least with the comic book shows. For me.
Because aliens.
Exactly. You see what I mean? Aliens. They
Okay,
live.
but then to your point, Andy, if Will Smith gets casted in the Suicide Squad, they're saying he's playing Captain Boomerang in that movie.
Really? I
I
actually
don't
didn't
think that's
know
true.
that.
I don't think that's true at all.
I hope it's not.
But Smith has become so difficult to negotiate lately in deals. Unless his son doesn't get to be in the movie, he's like, nope, I'm not going to be in it.
Well, he's a father looking out for his son.
He don't need to be in the Suicide Squad movie anyway.
Right.
I don't see him as a bad guy.
He's not a bad guy. He's too nice.
Yeah.
But did we like the brief introduction of Captain Boomerang?
What's there like about it? It's like, I mean, unless you knew who he was, that didn't mean anything.
That didn't mean jack shit. Like,
Okay,
Boomerang.
sorry for asking.
It's like there was nothing to like or not like or whatever. It's like it was like just here's some guy. Oh, he killed this other guy with a bladed boomerang. Okay.
Which is very funny.
It's like, I mean, I know who that was. I mean, obviously, it's like, I mean, everyone here, it's like we all know who that was. But for your average TV viewer, that means exactly nothing to them. And it's like, I like all these nods they give to us fans and whatnot, to those that really know these characters and whatnot. But it's like when I watch these episodes, I also try to watch them in the guise of someone that doesn't know anything about these comics. And actually, I have a friend of mine who also watches Flash and Arrow, and she kind of helps me out with that. And I talked to her. She had absolutely no idea who an hell this was or why it was significant. It was just some guy. And yeah, it's like I understand that. It's like it has zero significance to someone that does not already invested in who these characters are. Right. And again, while I appreciate all the nods to us fans, I wish they would do a little bit more to bring in people to make other people interested. Yeah, the casual audience that has no ideas. Like, I mean, I know Captain Boomerang is one of Flash's bad guys, and he's a member of the Road, because along with Captain Cold, who we've already met, and Heatwave, who we very very briefly met, and they're assembled by Gorilla Grodd and whatnot. I know all that. But they don't know that. The casuals, they don't know this shit. So seeing this guy meant nothing.
Yeah.
But my question was just how we felt about it. I didn't expect it. That was, you make a good point, but that wasn't what I was asking. I was just asking, like, how did we feel about that brief introduction? Like, are you intrigued by what he's gonna do in the crossover? Or whatnot?
No.
Captain Boomerang himself is just not a compelling villain to me.
Yeah, he's a boomerang, for God's sake.
Yeah, he's a regular guy that uses different kinds of boomerangs.
Use Captain Cold, though. Captain Cold would be a good introduction to bring the crossover. That would have been cool.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, if it was like, if at this point, instead of, I actually agree with Isaiah on here, it's like, if instead of Captain Boomerang, it would have been like Captain Cold and Heatwave, who we already saw in The Flash, right, that would have meant a lot more to me. It would have been a lot more compelling reason for a crossover, because these are two very, very good villains. I mean, because it's like, I mean, you like Captain Boomerang's a reason for a big crossover event. Fuck you.
Well, there's another.
Arrow took care of Deathstroke pretty much by himself. Yeah. And they were supposed to be worried about a guy that throws fucking boomerangs. Oh, fuck off.
His boomerangs knock out Oliver's arrows.
There's another villain in the crossover. I'm not gonna say who it is unless you want to look it up. But that villain is actually kind of interesting that they're actually using him for this crossover. So it's most likely a team up.
Well, yeah, it's like, I'm sure, but it's like, for me, it's like it would have made more sense to in this case go with someone that the audience had already seen. Captain Cold and Heatwave would have been absolutely perfect for this.
They were perfect in the episode.
If Captain Cold had frozen someone at the end of that episode, boom, that would have blown people's minds.
Yeah, that would have been as hell. That would have been so awesome.
People's jaws would be on the fucking ground and shit, and that would have built hype for the crossover like nothing else.
It would be really cool if
So here we go. I call this a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it would be really cool if they used the classic Captain Cold who freezes someone's jaw and actually breaks it too. That would have been so awesome. Good at that.
To start your crossover, we have a man who throws a boomerang.
That you've never seen before, by the way.
And he kills the
he's gonna leave,
and he kills a guy that we've also never seen before.
Right. Yeah. So it's like worst day ever to be killed by a boomerang.
It's like, sucks to be you, dude.
I'd be killed by an arrow than a boomerang.
So, like I say, that's the introduction to the crossover in 2 weeks. Hooray!
Yeah.
Well, there's another villain, and there might be a third one, but I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I'm sure there are.
I read the synopsis, and
for a lead-in, for the lead-in into this crossover, they could have done better.
Yeah.
They might do it in next week's episode of The Flash, though.
Yeah, But it's like, but for leaving off, because right now it's like, I mean, Arrow doesn't come back on for another couple of weeks. To me, a more compelling reason to to wait those 2 weeks, to give fans something to look forward to, would have been like Captain Cold or Heatwave, someone they recognize,
Right.
not a brand new character that kills some other brand new character
Yeah.
they don't know and don't give a shit about the
You
boomerang.
eye candy. You need something that's gonna be grabbed onto him, like, oh my god, it's gonna be so awesome. But no, they got like sour candy, like, oh, boomerang. That's it. That's what I got.
Dude, they have to chase that boomerang back to Central City.
Also get V for Vendetta. Oh god, if they had V, that'd be so awesome. But that never happened. That would never happen.
I mean, the only thing that's going to be good is I was reading yesterday that they're going to do more crossover events, and hopefully they'll do them better than this one leading up in 2 weeks.
But we
Yeah,
already
it's
know
like-
how.
I have no doubt that the crossover itself is going to be awesome, though.
And we gotta see. We have to see first.
As a matter of fact, it's like, on that note, why don't we go ahead and kick it in wild speculation for the crossover? It's like, that's what we got going on next. It's like, Andy is like, too many spoilers, so you're going to have to sit this one out. Because you kind of know some of the things that are going to happen.
I've read one synopsis, and I've been told one thing that I can't reveal because he will kill me. But I can just give speculation. Otherwise, I don't know all the things that's going to happen. So, but I can wait with my speculation. Otherwise,
I do have a speculation though.
Okay, go for it.
It's a rather minor speculation, but like you guys said, where you were hoping for Captain Cold and possibly Heatwave to be in the crossover instead of Captain Boomerang, how about at the end of the crossover event, there will be sort of like what happened at the end of the Captain Cold episode where they kind of briefly introduced Heatwave, where at the end of the crossover event, they actually show Captain Cold and Heatwave together about to cause some mayhem, and then it goes straight to credits.
That'll work.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
It's like it's like, I mean, is everyone looking forward to the crossover?
oh yeah,
Yes.
this is one of the
I'll watch it.
biggest things.
I'm
This is
not
one of the
watching.
biggest things. This is one of the things I've been looking forward to the most this whole TV season, and the actors are really excited about it. They've said some really cool stuff about it. So yeah, yes, we got a very maybe underwhelming introduction of one of the villains, but look, he could be one of the major things of that whole event. So I'm definitely excited for what's to come.
I mean, when I first heard about it, I was really excited. After reading what they posted on the internet, I'll watch it because it's going to tie together, and it's actually good that their worlds are both meshed together. But the reason that one is going to see one and the other one comes back to see the other is just really stupid.
Well, I do have one really out there wild speculation left, which is very likely not to happen.
Shoot.
They bring in the Flash villain, Mirror Master.
Shut up. No. Be quiet, Charles.
They could actually.
Well, he is a member of the same group as Captain
Unfortunately,
Cold
yeah.
and Heatwave and Captain Boomerang. So
Yeah, they could definitely drop an Easter egg. You may see someone inside of a mirror just quickly for a second.
I threw that out there, but I really hope Mirror Master doesn't show up. Come on.
either.
That guy is worse than Captain Cold's name.
Yes.
Oh.
The sad thing is he hacked into
Mirror
Batman's
Ma-
computer.
well, hey, it's like, I mean, they're bringing fucking Jack Boomerang. At that point, kind of all bets are off.
Well, Boomerang,
Yeah.
Boomerang has actually become a very more vicious character in the New 52 because he's actually now a member of the Suicide Squad, and there he has a pretty prominent role, and he's been written a lot better. So, and apparently this Captain Boomerang incarnation, he has some ties to Argus. So, he's. Yeah, I'm just saying that don't give up hope so quickly after whether you've read a synopsis.
Well, no, it's like,
was really
I understand what you're saying, but it's like even in the comic books, it's really, really hard to get me excited about a villain who his power or his big threat is that he throws boomerangs.
That cuts people.
That's just I'm sorry, man. That good for me.
Paper. You already cut the paper.
Agree to disagree. That's okay.
At least make him sound Australian.
Oh, pretty much. I'll make the Blaze look so fake CGI. I'm like, wow, is that fake CGI right there?
Yeah, Make him sound Australian, and then after every kill, he just says, crikey.
Hey, you think like me now. You're thinking like me. That's what you say, mate.
Oh God! All right. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up for this week's Arrow discussions. Thank you, everyone, for the panel for joining me. This has been a great discussion. For all your viewers out there, don't forget to like this video if you like what we're doing around here. Don't forget to subscribe. YouTube.com/GeeksOfTheRound so you never miss this or any other discussion. Of course, we want you to join the Geeks of the Round community. You will find the link for that down in the description for this video. My name is Deanna Jackson. We will see you in 2 weeks, and because we won't see you next week, hey, happy holidays. Peace.
Happy holidays.